didn't tan my elbow. Look at my elbow.
Don't show your elbow with that.
You said what?
Are you going to be showing your elbow much on this video?
I don't know, but I just lifted it up and saw that when I bend it, I should bend it and tan it. And then put it back straight because I tanned it like that, so it just, whatever. What's up guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you guys are new here, hello, I'm Keaton. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I edit my Instagram photos, how I created a cohesive feed. I went from having no cohesive pictures or theme to actually having photos that all mesh together and having a really pretty nice feed, which a lot of vloggers have. And so yeah, I just wanted to put this all into one video because I'm getting tons of questions about it. So if you guys are new here, don't forget to subscribe. You guys can hit the red button down below. Also, don't forget to turn your post and notification bell on because that will let you guys know when my videos are popping up and you guys can watch them right on time. I saw a few of you guys commenting saying that my videos weren't popping up in your subscription. So maybe if you turn the post notifications on, that will help. But anyway, so I'm gonna just get right into it. I'm gonna be screen recording everything, and so I'm gonna show you guys. I did one of these a while ago, but I didn't have a theme. I've recently started to make all my pictures flow together, so that's why I'm redoing it. Another thing was I wanted to show you guys how I plan it out and make sure that they all go together. So I only use a few apps for those, but I'm going to give you guys everything on how I do it. So let's get into it. Okay, so I'm going to first start with the apps that I use to either edit or fix the lighting or anything like that on the photo. So the first app that I have is Lightroom. So I use this app mostly, I mean, I don't use it for anything crazy, but what I really like it for is either the exposure or temperature of a photo, because most likely editing apps like Visco, which I don't really use, the two that I use are Teza and Curating. So those two apps do have the effect where you can change the exposure, brightness, temperature, all of that kind of stuff, but it is not as good as Lightroom is. So what I'm gonna do is pull up a photo to show you guys for example. So the first thing that I'll do is I will take the photo. Okay, so for example, I took these photos in the bathroom like literally 10 minutes ago. So I'm gonna show you guys how I would edit them if I was gonna Instagram them. I'm not Instagramming these, but these are just an example to help show you guys how to put them into a cohesive feed. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is click auto. Normally it doesn't do anything crazy, but as you guys can see, it just kind of like brightened it a little bit and gave it a little bit more saturation. So I like to do that. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into light, and I like to put the exposure up just a little bit. Nothing crazy, but just enough to where it's obviously a little bit brighter. And then I'm gonna go into color, and I'm gonna change the temperature into a more yellow color. And then I'm gonna click check. That's literally all I do. And then I just export it as just that photo. So there's no filter, there's no edit on this. I can do whatever it is that I want in Lightroom, just because it's easier to change all that kind of stuff. There's a lot more things you can do in Lightroom than that. Like obviously you can do effects, you can do so many different things. You can create presets in Lightroom and everything like that, but I don't use it for that. I genuinely just use it to either change the effect of the temperature or anything like that. So anyway, now we're gonna go into Teza. This is what I would recommend, is getting an app that will have a preset. You can either make a preset, but it's kind of hard, or you can buy presets from people. So the Teza app is an app where you can either have free presets or you can do a monthly subscription and buy presets. A lot of people use Teza, and so I use Teza personally because I really just like the effects that it has. I pay for a subscription, so I pay for the photo subscription and I pay for the video subscription. So you can use free ones, like I think the first three, like these ones I'm clicking through, these are all free, but I don't use them. So the one that I use is Film. So you guys can see, this is the before, this is the after. It really brightens everything up, but it also adds kind of like a layer over it, almost like a white layer over it. I don't know how to describe it, but it kind of just makes it look more film-esque. This photo would most likely not be like in my feed or go very well with my feed, but what we're gonna do, just for example, so I would show you Film. I would do Film, and then I would maybe turn the brightness down just a teeny bit because I'm looking a little washed out, and then I'll turn the contrast up a little bit more. And then I love grain, so I'll turn the amount up. Let's do probably 2.5, size a little bigger. So now it has kind of like a grainy effect. I like that personally. And then for temperature, again, I can make this warmer You can make it super warm, or you can make it more like blue toned. So I don't really want it too crazy. And then I'll save the photo. I'm gonna do another photo and show you guys one that would completely mesh into my feed. Let's find one for example. Okay, we're gonna do this one for example. This is a photo that I took in Nashville. So the things that have already been done to this photo, it has been lightened. So I went into Lightroom and I just turned the exposure up, and that's all I did. So this photo was just a little bit more dark and that kind of stuff. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add film to it, and you can just see it brightened it up a little bit. A lot of times I get comments saying your hair looks like way more auburn and washed out. In videos you guys can tell it's pretty red, but in photos it looks auburn because I have a warm tone to all my photos, so it doesn't look as bright, but it is pretty red and it's not like burnt orangey, but that's just what it looks like. I don't know. So I'm going to turn the film down to 43. Again, I'm going to go in with contrast. You can see that without the contrast it has that film look over it, but I like to kind of bring out more of the details. Same with details, I'll go in and sharpen it, and then I'm going to go in with grain. I'm going to add a little bit of that. I'm going to also turn the temperature up a tiny bit, and we're going to do just a little bit more temperature there. So this is it before, this is it after, before, after. So you can see it's much lighter, it's much bright. It also has somewhat of a pink tint to it. So what I do like to do for most of my photos, most of them are warm tones, they're cream, they're nude, but I will go in with this thing. It's called HSL, and I will click the red, and you can kind of turn the hue down. So now you can see kind of that it's getting green, and then you can turn it up to where it gets pink. I will sometimes, if the photo is not slightly pink enough, I like the photos like with a hint of pink in them. Like I'll literally put it like 0.9. This photo is pretty pink, so I don't really need that, but I will like turn the pink up a little just to make it go better. So that's the photo. It's as simple as that, and then I will literally just save it. The next thing that I do is I use UNUM. This is an app I use to plan my feed, so I'll show you guys kind of how I do that. Not using today, but okay, so as you guys can see, I've got two photos right here. Oh gosh, they're moving around. I've got two photos right there that haven't been on my Instagram. They are by the time you're watching this, but I've got two photos right there that haven't been on my Instagram. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in the photos that I would like to see if they work with my feed. Obviously, by looking at the mirror photo one, what I can do, I'm going to move these all out of the way into their own row. So I'm just looking at the mirror photo. So now as I can see the mirror photo one, if I click the button on the bottom that says grid shift, it moves it into the grid. So now I can see what it looks like next to all the other photos, and it doesn't mesh. Obviously all the other ones are bright enough. I feel like if the bathroom was just a little tiny bit whiter, it would work, but because it is more of dim lit, also the left hand side of the photo you guys can see there's blue from the window that's on the other side of the bathroom, so that photo obviously would not work. So this is what I use in order to see if all the photos fit in the rows together, because I want them to look seamless. But again, you don't want everything to be too cohesive to where you're never going to be able to upload photos that you like in different settings. So for example, this photo of me smiling in the green dress, obviously it's not as white, bright, and like cream. Photo of me, actually let me go on my Instagram and show you guys. So this is my feed currently. Most of the photos go together, but like I was saying, this green dress, it doesn't have just a clear cream background, so you would think it wouldn't mesh, but in the feed with other photos surrounding it that have green, like the second photo, the first photo of the cabana and all that kind of stuff, then it meshes really well. So you're just making sure that you're curating multiple photos that all align with the same aesthetic, and then it will still go together. Another example of that is obviously this photo doesn't have a lot of white, cream, or nude, but next to these photos that kind of balance it out. So it's kind of just about keeping the balance in your feed, making sure that they're all the same color scheme, and on top of that using the same preset for each photo, because if you switch up the presets then it's going to be really obvious. So yeah, I use the same presets. I do the exact same thing that you guys just saw. I go into Lightroom, I click auto, I turn the exposure up normally a little bit, and then I take temperature, I make it a little bit warmer because I like warmer photos. If you like cooler photos, then you can turn it down if you like more of the blue look. And then what I will do, going back to UNUM, is I will place it in here and I will see which ones go together. So I'm gonna delete this mirror photo because it literally does not go whatsoever. These photos, for example, if I were to upload this one, which I already uploaded, you guys can see it fits in like perfectly. It's the same color scheme. Another thing I wanted to talk about was, okay, so for example, I have these two photos. I have me in the zebra pants that I haven't uploaded yet. And the way you would go about like organizing the photos, making sure they work together, is you can see how weird this photo of me in the zebra pants looks on top of the other photo. It's almost the same photo, it's the same angle and the same like headshot, like it stops at my waist for both photos. You don't want any similar pictures next to each other. It's really good to normally have either a mood photo or something that's not your face in the photo directly before and after. So instead of posting that one, so that's on top of it, I would put the zebra pants. So now it has a photo of the pants breaking up the photos of just my face. So I'll put the other one of me next to it and I'm gonna do grid shift. So now you can see what it looks like in the grid. So they all still go together. They're not all the same exact background, but they all still go together. They all still like look really nice, and so they fit in the grid. So this is just a way that I've managed to keep the same photos all together, but using different backgrounds and like places and things like that. So the next and last thing I'm gonna show you guys is, this is super obvious, but I'll show you guys anyway. Okay, I never ended up Instagramming this, but you can see that the background is pretty yellow. If I were to place this into my feed, it would obviously be a way too yellow of a background in order to work. So I've opened up Facetune, and what I'm gonna do is click the whiten button, and all I do is whiten the entire background of it. I'm not gonna do this right now because it would take forever, but all you would have to do is whiten the whole background. Oh my gosh, this is so, let me turn this off. Whiten the whole background, and you would color it in, and then after I color it all in, so I get really close, zoom in, color, don't get my hair or anything like that, color this all in. Okay, so for example, whatever, if I were to color the whole thing in and make the entire background white, I would then go back over it, place the same filter over it because this is too white. So it's more just, it's a balance. So even if the background is not exactly what you want it to be, you can color it in, edit it, and filter it to make it be what you want it to. So it's just about making things work. Actually, let me show you guys, for example, the bathroom mirror photo. Well, all right, so for this photo, we're gonna whiten everything because it is pretty yellow. So we're going to literally just color every single thing. It looks a little gray, but this is all just part of the process. But whitening everything really just makes sure that the shadows aren't there. So as you guys can see, I'm coloring over the blue coming from that window, and it's washing out the blue, and it's now making it white. So I couldn't have turned the blue completely like yellow toned like how I would actually want it, but if I color it with the whitener. Okay, so now this is the before, after, before, after, before, after. If I wanted to, I could also keep the color. Oh, I forgot to color the counter. Let me do the counter. Okay, we're just gonna pretend that that is really pretty. But now, as you guys could see, that would be what it would look like. I'm gonna save this, and I'll go in. Oh, unable to save, come on. I'm gonna put that edited one that we just did, and we're going to go and apply film to it. Now it's much whiter, but now it's looking a little bit gray. I'm gonna still turn the brightness up a teeny tiny bit, and then I'm gonna go into temperature, and I'm gonna turn the temperature up, and I'm gonna turn the brightness up, temperature up a little bit more. Let's go into HSL. Let's bring, you can see the pink tints are coming through. And now, look how much lighter that photo is compared. So now we're gonna go, and I'm gonna just place in UNUM. It still probably wouldn't, this wouldn't be a photo on Instagram, and it's probably not fully edited the way it would be, but you guys will see now how much more it blends in. I'm gonna click grid shift, And look how much better that photo blends in with the rest of my feed. Yes, it's a little too gray. I would have probably had to save it with the first coat of white, and then sometimes I'll go back in and I'll coat it again with white. So then everything's super, super white so that I can go in and like make it yellowy again, which is weird to say, but you guys get the point. It basically like erases the shadows out of it. So that is my example, how I would kind of make it go into my feed. So that is how I edit my Instagram photos. That's how I make them all go together. It's really, really simple. So I use the Teza app. It has some free presets on it, but it doesn't have them all free. You do have to pay a monthly subscription. Another app that I use, or that I used to use until I changed the way I edited, was the app Curating. So this is basically the same thing. It is free presets with buyable ones on there. So there are some that you can purchase on this app. And a lot of you guys would always ask how I edited my older photos, and you guys will see here, this is what I used to use. I'll go in and show you guys. This is a photo that I Instagrammed a while back, and this is the preset I used to use. This one is Maldives. So this is it with no effect, and this is it with Maldives. This was a more blue tone, and it just made me like pretty tan, made all the colors pop really nicely. This is it like fully. That's it a little bit down, but that would be it without the filter. That's it with the filter. It just kind of gave it a more cool look. So that's the older filters that I used to use, were in Curating, and I believe that one is free. Actually, no, I may have bought those, I'm not sure, but Curating and Teza app are the two that I use to edit. I also use Lightroom to do the other fixtures. I use UNUM to plan everything, and that's basically it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tons of you guys have been asking me to tell you guys how I edit them, so I hope you guys liked it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you guys did like it, don't forget to subscribe. A lot of you guys always watch my videos, and you guys always comment, but you guys aren't subscribed, so don't forget to hit the red button down below. I'm going to be posting a ton of new videos, so thank you guys so much again, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.